Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me at the market site in Times Square, New York City, we have Ian Rosen. He's the CEO of Stocktwits. We're going to talk about engaging with the next-gen investor. It's great to have you back with us.
Thank you.
As always, now Stocktwits, clearly, part of something that we're following all the time. Tell us more about the community.
So our community is the largest social network for investing and trading. We have just over 3 million registered users with incredibly high engagement. Our users spend an average of an hour a day time on site. They spend about half of them are on the site every single trading day, and they're just passionate people who love to talk about companies and markets.
What's the value behind being part of the community? Are you looking to do better on each trade, or is it improving your investing overall?
So investing overall, you're not really trying, our community are not really trying to make extra money by being on the community per se, which is actually kind of a misperception that people have. Investing can be a little bit of a lonely experience, it's a solitary thing. Our community are doing this to participate with each other. They are on there because it's fun, they're on there to learn from each other. They tell us all the time that they are just want to be part of that group of people to share the wins and losses and learn from each other.
And are investment professionals also using Stocktwits?
Yeah, so they're not as many of the posters because obviously people have compliance rules and things like that. But of our posters represent probably 20% of the total daily audience. And a lot of professionals in terms of institutional investors or media or research analysts spend time on Stocktwits simply to get a sense of the zeitgeist of the market, to know what's happening with a company, maybe the first take before journalists pour their way through it, and just to really just sort of feel what's going on.
All right, now this morning, February 25th, you rang the opening bell in celebration of the launch of Trade App, which is what we're looking at behind us. Tell us more about the new app.
So Trade App is our experience that adds on to what Stocktwits users love. We look at what our users are doing every day. They're learning about markets, they're talking to each other, they're learning from each other, and we didn't feel that there was a tool that accurately and ably let them learn in a social way. So Trade App is our commission-free, so it's easy to get into, it's extremely easy to use. Fractional, which means that you can buy shares of companies. Not everyone has $2,000 for a share of Amazon, so they can buy $10 or $5 worth of a stock and get into it that way. And it is very social. So basically you're able to share the experience that you're having with the investment in a particular company and mark it up a little bit like an Instagram story. And other people can follow your stories, and other people can learn from you, and you can teach other people, you can share with your investment group. And that social learning experience is something that we feel is very important to people that are just learning how to get into markets. There's a perception out there that people shouldn't do this on their own, but that's not true. We live in a DIY world where people want to learn how to do things on their own. The professionals aren't always right. Yes, you can go out and buy an index fund, and that's great. But for people who want to learn how to invest and how to participate in markets, it's an exciting time and something that you can not just make money with, but learn about all kinds of things through being a part of it.
Now, Trade App, it's a first platform of its kind to be approved by FINRA.
That's right.
Why is that such a big deal?
It was a huge deal. So we were a social network for 11 years, 10 years when this happened. And when we thought about becoming a brokerage, if you can think about the kinds of things that people do on a social network and what a regulated entity like a brokerage needs to do, and those two things are kind of a little bit anathema to each other. So we wanted to be able to create an experience that connected those things. We weren't sure if we were going to be able to do it. So we went in very conservatively and clearly from the beginning with our regulators and asked if we would be able to create an experience that would marry these things in a way that would help people become better investors, that would keep people safe, that would make them better, that it was not the negative aspects of social, but rather the positive aspects of learning. And we went through about a year process, working closely with FINRA, and in February we were approved by FINRA as the first social brokerage.
All right, now to wrap up here, what's the relationship with Nasdaq? Where do we fit in?
So first of all, we're great partners for a long time with Nasdaq, over 10 years. We use Nasdaq data in our applications in Trade App and Stocktwits. We believe that being a part of the Nasdaq community in terms of its ability to bring technology and cutting edge tools to bear for our company and for our users is incredibly important.
All right, Ian, great to see you as always, and congratulations on the launch.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.